Chapter 93. Like the shackles of skin refining last time, Yi Tian also touched the shackles of the meat refining realm at this time. It only took a few hours for Yi Tian to break the shackles and successfully break the limit of meat refining. Sure enough, the strength talent and the muscles in the body are also fused, but the fusion speed is very slow. It's estimated that we won't know what the situation is until the perfect foundation is truly cast, Yi Tian said darkly. Now, his strength talent and defense talent have reached the top level, and he has also broken the limit of skin refining and meat refining. The next step is to find the high-level strength talent or top talent of the bone system. However, the high-level talents and top-level talents of the bone system are too difficult to find because bone talents are very rare, and only a few fierce beasts have this kind of talent. Vajraman is one of them. Vajra beasts are generally swarm-living fierce beasts. As long as you find a Vajra beast group, you can fuse into a top-level Vajra bone talent. But it's difficult to find a Vajra beast group. The Yunhai forest is too big, and there's a king-level existence at the core, so it's very dangerous to go deep into the Yunhai forest. If the Vajra beast group is in the depths of the Cloud Sea forest, I don't think there will be a way to replicate the Vajra bone talent. However, one of the Vajra beasts was once captured, and it's said that they were also caught in the Yunhai forest, so there should still be hope to find the Vajra herd. Yi Tian couldn't help it. He could only hope for the Vajra beast's Vajra bone talent because he already had a high-level Vajra bone talent, and copying 2 more would complete the purpose, which was far easier than finding another high-level bone-type talent. Next, Yi Tian began his journey to find the Vajra beast. However, on the 3rd day, Yi Tian met a group of people. The number of this group of people was about 40, including 5 grandmasters and 35 great martial artists. 5 of them were not ordinary grandmasters, but very powerful grandmasters, much stronger than the 5 grandmasters that Yi Tian killed last time. And among the 35 great martial artists, there were also a few geniuses with offensive talents, and this team was obviously a strong opponent. But Yi Tian could see the disharmony of this team. That's right, discord. There was no discipline among them. And, as if they were looking for something, Yi Tian wanted to get information about the Vajra beast from them. Maybe they had the information of the Vajra beast. So, he deliberately met this team. Stop! A grandmaster saw Yi Tian and shouted. What's the matter? I'm still looking for Vajraman. Yi Tian said deliberately. Looking for Vajra beast? Several grandmasters looked moved, and said with a smile, you are a great martial artist who wants to deal with Vajra beast at the limit. But Vajra beast has a high Vajra bone talent, and it is very difficult to kill. And your little body would be flattened by the Vajra beast. I'm afraid even the bones of your whole body will have to be shattered. I have the means to deal with Vajraman, Yi Tian said confidently. Oh, could it be that you have a special talent? Our team is still short of people, and we are about to deal with a powerful beastmaster. Do you want to hunt that beastmaster with us? According to intelligence, there are several Vajra beasts under the hands of that beastmaster, one of the grandmasters said. Really? Yi Tian asked with some skepticism. Naturally, it's true. Why would I lie to you about the limit of a great martial artist? But if your strength is very poor, you are not qualified to join our team, another grandmaster said. Swish! Yi Tian's body moved, showing speed, but he did not show 120 times the speed. Instead, he showed 18 times the speed, which is equivalent to a primary speed talent. Elementary speed talent, good, qualified to join us. The 5 grandmasters were overjoyed. A beginner speed talent, and he is also at the limit of a great martial artist, which is enough to deal with a large number of high-level fierce beasts. And the beastmaster they dealt with this time had a lot of high-level fierce beasts under its command. They only needed to be responsible for dealing with the beastmaster, and the group of high-level fierce beasts under its command could only be dealt with by the great martial artists. It was precisely because of this that they had recruited a large number of great martial artists to help them deal with high-level fierce beasts. Beastmaster, could it be that he is a king-level powerhouse? Yi Tian asked. Of course, he could be sure in his heart that the Beast King was not a king level, otherwise this group of people would have known where to run if they dared to fight the idea of that fierce beast. He asked on purpose, how can it be the Beastmaster? If it is the Beastmaster, no matter how many of us are there, we are no match for him. Little guy, don't worry, the strength of our 5 grandmasters is enough to deal with that Beastmaster, and you won't be in any danger. I can guarantee that after the deed is completed, I will give you a treasure worth 5 billion. Several grandmasters promised. 5 billion. This is definitely a huge amount of money for a great martial artist, and few great martial artists would refuse so much money. But Yi Tian didn't believe that this group of grandmasters would come up with 5 billion. You must know that so many great martial artists together needed to be paid more than 100 billion, and the 5 grandmasters would give up more than 100 billion. As long as one is a smart person, it can be seen, but other great martial artists dare not add people. If I hadn't joined, they wouldn't have been so talkative, and they would even have shot at me. Yi Tian secretly sneered, but his goal was Vajram, and if this group could really lead him to find Vajramam, then it would be a good thing to join. Moreover, Yi Tian faintly felt that some of the words of these 5 grandmasters were true, and that Beast King might really have a few Vajra beast subordinates. I'm willing to join. Yi Tian nodded. Congratulations on joining our temporary team. Keep up, the 5 grandmasters said with a smile. The team moved on, looking for the other warriors. Soon, 3 days passed, and the 5 grandmasters found the limit of the 5 great martial artists, but they did not win over a single grandmaster. Once they met a grandmaster, these 5 grandmasters would use their spiritual power to warn each other not to meet each other. Obviously, they didn't want to share the existence of the Beastmaster with the grandmaster. Almost. Let's go. A grandmaster spoke. Immediately, the team headed towards the depths of the Sea of Clouds forest. After running for about a day, they finally came to a valley. The 5 grandmasters took the lead, and the other great martial artists and extreme powerhouses followed, and they entered the valley together. Rumble. A large number of fierce beasts rushed over. Most of them were intermediate-level fierce beasts, all kinds of fierce beasts. Originally, it was impossible for these fierce beasts to live together, and it was obvious that one fierce beast integrated them. That beast was the Beastmaster that the 5 grandmasters were going to deal with. You guys. A grandmaster spoke. Obviously, the 5 grandmasters wouldn't be able to deal with this group of mid-level fierce beasts. Phew. A great martial artist rushed over and quickly killed all the mid-level fierce beasts. At this moment, a powerful aura spread over, and there was a large amount of high-level fierce beast aura behind him. Obviously, the Beastmaster came down with his elite men. In the blink of an eye, the Beastmaster appeared in front of everyone. And Yi Tian's copying talent also shrouded a radius of 600 meters, and he checked the talent of the Beastmaster. At this sight, he was completely stunned. It turned out to be Chapter 94. Species. Swift Drakeman. Bloodline talent. Extraordinary. Defense talent. Elementary. Strength talents. Elementary. Speed talent. Elementary. Looking at the talent of this Beast King, Yi Tian finally knew the origin of the Beast King they were going to deal with. That's a juvenile king beast. Yi Tian had checked many types of fierce beasts before, including the swift dragon beast, which was a fierce beast with an extraordinary bloodline talent. Once it truly became an adult, it had a great chance of becoming a king beast, comparable to a king-level powerhouse among humans. And the aura of this swift dragon beast in front of him had only just entered the top-level fierce beast. However, it wasn't very easy to deal with, given its primary defense talent, primary strength talent, and primary speed talent. Yi Tian himself could deal with this swift dragon beast, but if those 5 grandmasters wanted to deal with it, they would have to pay a certain price. No wonder these 5 people want to bring in so many great martial artists. They themselves have to deal with the swift dragon beast, and they probably don't dare to be distracted. And the strength of those high-level fierce beasts isn't weak. Among them, there are many high-level fierce beasts with special talents. If they besiege them together, they'll be more troublesome, Yi Tian said darkly. Bang! The 5 grandmasters fought with the swift dragon beast, and it was almost inseparable. The other great martial artists stopped those high-level fierce beasts, and Yi Tian also fought with a high-level fierce beast, but he didn't kill the other party. At this time, Yi Tian was looking for Vajra beasts. The number of high-level fierce beasts was quite large, no less than 100. Soon, Yi Tian found the Vajra beasts from the talent information he had checked with his copy talent. There were 3 Vajra beasts. These 3 Vajra beasts were very powerful, forcing 3 great warriors with special talents to retreat one after another. It was true that the bones of Vajraman were too strong. Even if an attack comparable to that of a grandmaster fell on it, it would only break the flesh, but it couldn't penetrate its body. And the palm of the Vajra beast was very strong, comparable to a powerful Yuan force weapon. The weapons of the great warriors would be broken by the palm of the Vajra beast. The high-level Vajra bone talent was simply terrifying. Yi Tian secretly copied the high-level Vajra bone talents of the two Vajra beasts, and then stopped paying attention to them. After a while, a famous warrior was killed, and the number of great warriors decreased dramatically. This group of great warriors has been defeated. Yi Tian shook his head secretly. But those 5 grandmasters obviously didn't care about the lives of the great martial artists. As long as they killed the swift dragon beast in time, the other high-level fierce beasts wouldn't be a threat. As for whether the great warriors would die, this was exactly what they expected, and it was too late to rejoice. Use that thing quickly. Those little guys are almost overwhelmed. If they die, we'll have to endure the siege of a large number of high-level fierce beasts, a grandmaster spiritually transmitted. The other grandmaster understood and hurriedly took out something similar to a syringe. The next moment, he collided with the swift drakeman, and at the cost of being knocked away by the swift drake, he successfully punched the syringe into the swift drakeman's body, piercing through its skin. The swift drakeman's defense was so strong, it had a primary defense talent, but the pinhole was a special pinhole, made of special metal, and had a strong penetrating force under the amplification of Yuan force, so it could break the defense of the swift drake. There was a very special anesthetic in the syringe, made by mixing a variety of anesthetic natural treasures, which could almost anesthetize most top fierce beasts. Unless it was a fierce beast with a talent for anti-poison, it couldn't stop the effect of the anesthetic. It worked, the 5 grandmasters said excitedly. They had actually prepared several syringes, all carried by the grandmaster who had the second-class speed talent, and they didn't expect to succeed on the first try. But they didn't expect that the swift dragon beast was completely defenseless and was successfully injected. Not far away, Yi Tian completely saw this scene and couldn't help but realize. It turns out that they didn't want to hunt the swift dragon beast, but to capture it. Many grandmasters capture top-level fierce beasts and sell them, and many fierce beasts in the Demon Sea Great Base came from this way. A juvenile king beast, its value is unimaginable. No wonder they came to capture it. A juvenile king beast, if successfully captured, let alone sacrificing 100 great warriors, it was even worth sacrificing 1,000 great warriors. This juvenile king beast, once controlled, would be equivalent to mastering a king beast in the future, which was enough to revitalize a large family. Such a juvenile king beast, even Yi Tian might not be able to afford it. But Yi Tian didn't have the heart to capture the juvenile king beast. Firstly, he wasn't short of money at the moment. Secondly, capturing the juvenile king beast would undoubtedly offend this juvenile king beast, and even offend the real king beast behind the juvenile king beast. Once a juvenile king beast is captured, it is easy to cause a beast tide. It is said that 40 years ago, a young king beast was captured, angered a terrifying king beast, and led a large number of king beasts and countless top-level fierce beasts to almost break through the Demon Sea base. And in that battle, the Hurricane King was killed, and no less than 5 or more powerful kings were killed, with countless grandmasters dying. Although the swift dragon beast is only the weaker of the king beasts, it wasn't a good thing for him to anger a king beast now. Maybe he sold the young king beast on the front foot, and on the back foot, he was betrayed. If a beast tide did appear, he might be pushed out by some people as the object of the beast's anger. Therefore, even if you kill the juvenile king beast, you can't bring it back to the Demon Sea base. I have to say that these 5 grandmasters were very bold and dared to capture the juvenile king beast. Of course, these 5 people might be far away from the idea of other big bases under the pretext of doing a single vote. Soon, unable to withstand the effects of the anesthetic, the swift drake fell to the ground with a thud. Seeing this scene, the 5 grandmasters were overjoyed. Deal with all the other beasts first. The 5 grandmasters immediately began to slaughter the high-level fierce beasts. Soon, the high-level beasts were almost all killed, and only a few escaped. Survived. A great martial artist with a severed hand rejoiced. However, before he could breathe a sigh of relief, a sword slit his throat. Before he died, he saw a familiar figure, one of the 5 grandmasters. It was just a pity that he was already dead, and he had no chance to ask this Grand Master why he killed them. The few remaining great warriors were terrified. They had already anticipated what would happen next. I don't want 5 billion anymore. Let me go. I am a member of the Hong family of the Demon Sea base. If you kill me, the Hong family will not let you go. I don't want to die. I'll be a servant for you. Please let me go. No matter how much the great martial artists begged for mercy, threatened, or compromised, they couldn't change the decision of the 5 Grand Masters. No matter what your background is, we can't expose the capture of the swift dragon beast, so you must die. A Grand Master said gloomily. Phew. The remaining few great warriors fled in several directions. However, the Grand Master with the talent for inferior speed made a move and easily killed these great warriors. In the end, only Yi Tian was left. Boy, you have a primary speed talent. Maybe there's a little hope of escaping. Why don't you escape? The 5 Grand Masters looked at Yi Tian curiously. Yi Tian opened his mouth, revealing his white teeth, and said innocently, because I can kill you. Chapter 95. Kill us? When the 5 Grand Masters heard this, they sneered. Was the kid in front of him crazy? Did a mere great martial artist also want to kill their 5 Grand Masters? You must know that the 5 of them weren't the kind of weak Grand Masters. Even Yun Feng, the #1 combat genius of the Demon Sea base, had no way to kill them, and there was no hope of even escaping when he encountered them. So, why would Yi Tian think he could kill them? A stupid boy who has gone mad. Who's going to kill him? A Grandmaster asked. Swish! Another Grandmaster struck out and threw a punch at him. Suddenly, the Grandmaster's body froze, and he turned into 2 pieces. His body fell to the ground. Killed Tai Lin with 1 sword. The 4 Grandmasters said stupidly. They couldn't believe it at all. That wasn't an ordinary martial artist, but a powerful Grandmaster. Even if a great martial artist held a Yuan Force weapon, he couldn't cause too much damage to a Grandmaster. Yet, Yi Tian killed a Grandmaster in seconds with a single sword. Damn! Let's go up and kill him, the 4 Grandmasters said angrily. However, for Yi Tian, there was no difference between 1 Grandmaster and 4 Grandmasters. Shadow kill. Yi Tian exerted a speed of 120 times the speed of sound and quickly slashed over. At 120 times the speed of sound, the 4 Grandmasters were like babies walking slowly. Puff, puff, puff. 1 knife, 1 sword, 4 knives killed 4 Grandmasters in seconds. These 4 Grandmasters didn't even react to their deaths. Their brains were cut off by Yi Tian's knife, and they died tragically on the spot. The 5 Grandmasters died, and Yi Tian took their storage bags. This swift drake. Yi Tian looked at the swift dragon beast and pondered for a while, then immediately slashed it with a sword, directly killing the swift dragon beast. Then, Yi Tian collected the blood of the swift dragon beast. This was the blood of a top-level fierce beast, and it was also a juvenile king beast. The quality of its blood was much better than that of other top-level fierce beasts, which was very suitable for refining the body, and it could be regarded as a harvest. 1,000 top-grade beast blood, a good harvest, Yi Tian said with satisfaction. As for the corpse, he didn't want to take it. After all, the corpse of a top-level fierce beast wasn't worth too much, and this swift dragon beast didn't have any good talent on it, so it was useless to keep the corpse. The corpse, which was more than 30 meters long, would only occupy the space of the carry-on space and the storage bag. Therefore, Yi Tian gave up the corpse of the swift dragon beast and turned to leave. Just 3 hours after Yi Tian left, a terrifying swift dragon beast with a length of 100 meters came to this valley. It was a king-level swift dragon beast. When it came to the valley and saw the corpse of the young swift drake, it went berserk. Roaring, a radius of hundreds of miles was shrouded in the ferocity of the king. Find the humans, kill them. The king-level swift dragon beast gave orders to countless fierce beasts. Yi Tian, who had already left far away, also felt that the Yunhai forest had changed. In the dark, a depressing aura enveloped the area. It must be the matter of the swift dragon beast. I should leave the Cloud Sea Forest for refuge. Yi Tian immediately made a decision and quickly left the Yunhai forest. On this day, many human warriors in the Yunhai forest were attacked by fierce beasts, and the king beast, swift dragon beast, even personally attacked and killed many grandmasters. At last, a king level from the Demon Sea base personally came here and fought a big battle with the Swift Dragon Beast, ending the dispute with the defeat of the Swift Dragon Beast. As for the Beast Tide, it didn't happen. After all, the weight of the Swift Dragon Beast in the Yunhai Forest was still too low, and it wasn't qualified to launch a Beast Tide, so it could only hunt down and kill the humans in the Yunhai Forest. Yi Tian, who left the Yunhai Forest, found a mountain peak, opened a temporary cave on the peak, and entered the cave mansion to begin fusing 2 high-level Vajra bone talents. Fusion. One after the other, Yi Tian fused the 2 high-level Vajra bone talents he had copied. Rumble. The inside of his bones seemed to have been torn countless times. If it were an ordinary person, they would have fainted a long time ago, but Yi Tian had experienced too many talent fusions and forcibly endured it. About half an hour passed. When the fusion ended, Yi Tian was already soaking wet. Check. Yi Tian's retina displayed his own talent. As he expected, the Vajra bone talent had undergone a metamorphosis. Vajra bone talent, top. Finally raised the Vajra bone talent to the top, and there's only one bloodline top-level talent left. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief and said, originally, he was worried about whether he would be able to collect the 4 top talents of defense, strength, bone, and bloodline in a short period of time, but now that he had completed 3, he naturally stopped worrying. One step closer to building the perfect foundation. Don't rush the top talents of the bloodline class first. Break the limit of bone refining first. Yi Tian planned. After resting for half a day, and completely recovering his strength, Yi Tian began to practice the purple blood bone forging technique. However, just as Yi Tian was about to take out the Swift Dragon Beast blood to assist in cultivating the purple blood bone forging technique, he was completely dumbfounded. Where's my Swift Dragon blood? Yi Tian searched again and again in his portable space, but found no trace of the Swift Dragon Beast's blood. The bottle containing the Swift Dragon Beast blood didn't know when it was opened, and there wasn't a drop of blood left inside. It's impossible. Even if the cap is accidentally opened, the blood would flow on the ground of the carry-on space, so it wouldn't just disappear. Yi Tian was puzzled. This thing was so weird. If he didn't figure it out, how would he dare to put his treasures in his personal space? His spiritual power scanned again and again, and finally, Yi Tian fixed his gaze on the dragon egg. The vitality of this dragon egg is much stronger, and the golden color is more intense. Is it difficult to? Yi Tian thought of a possibility, that his 1,000 copies of the Swift Dragon Beast blood were stolen and eaten by the dragon eggs. I see. Yi Tian suddenly realized, the Swift Dragon Beast has the word, dragon, perhaps it has the blood of a dragon. And the reason why the battle blood dragon egg hasn't been able to hatch is because it lacks the power of the dragon. But the blood of the Swift Dragon Beast happens to have the blood power of the dragon, so it was devoured by the blood celestial dragon egg. Suddenly, Yi Tian thought of a possibility. If the blood of the fierce beast with the blood of the dragon had been devoured by the Swift Dragon Beast, would the battle blood heavenly dragon be able to be conceived? There are a total of 10 special talents on the battle blood heavenly dragon, and one of them seems to be a bloodline talent. In order to confirm it, Yi Tian once again used his copying talent to observe. Bloodthirst talent. Since the battle blood heavenly dragon hasn't been born yet, the level of the blood devouring talent is unknown. What if it's a top-level talent? Then wouldn't he not have to look for the battle blood heavenly dragon, but could directly copy the blood devouring talent of the battle blood heavenly dragon? In this way, the 4 top talents would all be together. Chapter 96. You can try it. There are a lot of fierce beasts with the blood of the dragon, but the blood of the dragon is thin. I remember that the information shows there's a high-level fierce beast group with the blood of the dragon not too far from the Demon Sea base. If you destroy that high-level fierce beast group and use the fierce beast blood of the entire clan to water the battle blood dragon egg, it should be able to make the battle blood dragon hatch. Yi Tian guessed. So, he was going to find the high-level fierce beast group after breaking the limit of bone refining. In the next month, Yi Tian didn't go anywhere. He stayed in this temporary cave mansion, and every day he practiced the purple blood bone forging technique and comprehended the sword intent. After spending a lot of high-grade fierce beast blood in nearly 29 days, Yi Tian finally broke the limit of bone refining, and the bones of his whole body seemed to come to life. The Vajra bone talent was slowly fusing with the bones of his whole body. Refining skin, refining meat, refining bones. The three physical aspects have all broken the limit. The next step is to break the blood refining limit and reach the level of blood exchange transformation. This will complete the most important foundation. The rest only needs to break the limit of the 5 internal organs. It's time to find that group of high-level fierce beasts that contain the blood of dragons. Yi Tian muttered. The Great Base of the Demon Sea, in a canyon 8,000 kilometers to the west, is home to a huge group of creatures that run out of the ground, called dragon snake beasts. The dragon snake beast has the body of a snake, as well as 4 claws, but there is no so-called dragon head and dragon horns. However, their strength isn't weak, it's a high-level fierce beast. There are also very rare top fierce beasts among the dragon snake beasts, but their number is very rare, less than 20. However, the size of the dragon snake beast isn't large, only 1 meter in size, so it cannot provide too much fierce beast blood, and the value of its corpse isn't high. Because of this, there are no powerful grandmasters and king-level beings to exterminate the dragon snake beasts here. This day, Yi Tian came to this canyon. As soon as he entered the canyon, more than a dozen dragon snake beasts discovered Yi Tian and besieged him. Yi Tian gently pinched them with his hand and pinched the dragon snake beasts to death. Subsequently, Yi Tian took out the battle blood heavenly dragon egg and dripped the blood of the dragon snake beast on the eggshell of the battle blood heavenly dragon egg. It must be successful. Yi Tian was looking forward to it. Wow! The golden light flashed, and the blood of the dragon snake beast on the eggshell was devoured. You really can. Yi Tian was excited. Immediately, he put away the battle blood heavenly dragon egg and began to hunt the dragon snake beast frantically. Kill! 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 Every time he killed a dragon snake beast, Yi Tian took the blood and threw it into his personal space. In the end, it was too late to collect blood. So, Yi Tian directly built a pit in the canyon, threw the corpses of dragons, snakes, and beasts into it, and a large amount of blood gathered in the pit, forming a pool of blood. The top-level fierce beast-level dragon snake beasts are here, Yi Tian said in a low voice. Whoa! Rays of light rushed over, carrying monstrous killing intent. Each ray of light represented a top-level fierce beast, and there were a total of more than 20 top-level fierce beasts. In terms of strength, each top-level fierce beast was stronger than an ordinary grandmaster. 20 top-level fierce beasts were enough to be comparable to a powerful grandmaster, but Yi Tian's strength was comparable to the extreme powerhouse of an ordinary grandmaster. A top-level fierce beast like the dragon snake beast was more or less dead. Rumble. Qingfeng slashed like mowing grass, slashing the top fierce beasts, dragons, snakes, and beasts, and one corpse after another fell to the ground. For half a day, Yi Tian was hunting dragons, snakes, and beasts, and the entire canyon was full of corpses. Finally, Yi Tian killed all the dragon snake beasts. Phew, fortunately I have the medium endurance talent that I copied from Xiao Jin, otherwise my physical strength would have been exhausted long ago. Yi Tian exhaled deeply. Immediately, Yi Tian gathered the blood of the dragon snake beasts together, forming a huge pool of blood. Go ahead. Yi Tian threw the battle blood heavenly dragon egg into the blood pool. Wow! A whirlpool appeared in the blood pool, and the blood of these dragons, snakes, and beasts poured into the center, and the place that poured in was the location of the battle blood heavenly dragon egg. The ability to suck blood from the blood heavenly dragon egg is really perverted. Could this be the effect of the blood-devouring talent? Yi Tian guessed. The blood of the dragon, snake, and beast that was originally a big pool was absorbed by the battle blood heavenly dragon egg in less than 10 minutes. At this time, the battle blood heavenly dragon egg exuded a strong dragon might, and compared to the previous plain dragon egg, it was now a real dragon egg. The people of the Martial Pavilion originally auctioned dragon eggs like this. Maybe they won't take them out for auction at all. Even if they do take them out for auction, I don't have the ability to bid for them. Maybe it's a king-level auction, Yi Tian said happily. Absorbing a large amount of dragon snake beast blood, the battle blood heavenly dragon egg seemed to be truly pregnant, and Yi Tian could clearly sense that the vitality in the body of the battle blood dragon egg was slowly rising. Although there was a throbbing of vitality before, the vitality didn't rise at all. But now, the vitality was improving, which meant that this egg was really alive and could give birth to life. It shouldn't be long before this egg can give birth to a battle-blood heavenly dragon. Yi Tian said with a sigh, but there was one more thing that needed to be solved at the moment, and that was how to control this bloody dragon. This was a real dragon. In case, after the battle-blood heavenly dragon was born, he couldn't control it, and if it ran away, wouldn't it be a loss? According to Yi Tian's idea, it would be safest to take the battle-blood heavenly dragon as his pet. There are people selling fierce beasts in the Demon Sea base. Many fierce beasts aren't so easy to tame, and they aren't afraid of threats, but they are still accepted as pets. So there must be a way to subdue pets, instead of threatening Xiao Jin and Xiao Zi like me, to make them take the initiative to recognize their owners. Yi Tian was going to return to the Demon Sea base first and ask Yu Ling about the situation. Maybe Yu Ling had a better way to subdue the fierce beast. Demon Sea base. After a few months, Yi Tian was back. As soon as he arrived, he returned home. Master. As soon as Xiao Jin at home saw Yi Tian, he immediately became excited and ran over to show off. Master, I have broken through to become a top-level fierce beast. It's okay. Yi Tian nodded. It wasn't difficult to become a top-level beast in a few months. If it was in the wild, it would be promoted faster if there was enough blood to eat. Master, why are you still a great warrior? Jin asked suspiciously. You think you can beat me? Yi Tian stared at Xiao Jin and asked. Master, how dare I hit you? I'm not your opponent. Xiao Jin immediately confessed. It knew the terrible nature of its master. Killing enemies at a higher level was like drinking water and eating. Even if it became a top-level beast, it was definitely not its master's opponent. In terms of speed, it thought that its master was not as fast as itself. However, as the owner's loyal pet, it had no other thoughts. In the evening, Yi Yu was back. A few months ago, Yi Yu was only in the middle stage of martial arts, but now Yi Yu was already in the late stage of martial arts, and he was only one step away from being an elite martial artist. That night, Yi Tian gave Yi Yu a storage bag and a batch of middle-grade fierce beast blood and some high-grade fierce beast blood, and let Yi Yu cultivate alone. Now, apart from giving Yi Yu some resources, he couldn't help in other ways. The next day, Yi Tian used the liaison to contact Yu Ling and asked Yu Ling to have dinner at a big hotel. Yu Ling arrived as promised.